everyone, welcome back to 5 Reasons, the Moo blog. I'm of course Matthew Oliver, the wedding planner who does weddings all over the country, all over the world. If there's anything you need, just let me know. I hope you're liking the flow of the blogs. So far they are here to help you get an understanding of what you need to create for your weddings, etc, etc. So I've kind of missed you. I have been so busy the last few days, week or so, just because it's just been manic, which is really good obviously, but I'd like to apologise for the lack of the blogs. The last one I posted was last Wednesday, so I do apologise. So this is going to hopefully be up as soon as possible. I'm going to do another one soon after as well. So this 5 Reasons is talking to you about your 5 reasons on wedding day music and what parts of your day that will actually need music and what you can actually create with that part for music, if that actually makes sense. So music at a wedding is very important just because it just gives a better feel and atmosphere to your wedding day, and you want to choose the right music to like go with that atmosphere and your wedding, because there's so many different paths you can go down with music which you don't obviously want to do. You want to make it the perfect music choice for your wedding day. And obviously you know that as well. A lot of you don't realise you can actually choose any sort of music for your wedding day. The ceremony, obviously, it will depend on with how you're having and conducting your service. If it's a civil ceremony, normally 99% of the time you can pretty much have any sort of music to walk down the aisle to. But if it's obviously a religious service, it has to go along with that sort of religion, and maybe talk to the priest or the verger or whoever is conducting the service for you, depending on obviously your religion. And there's so many different names for a vicar with the religion. So just maybe make sure when you go and see them to see and ask what music is available, because a lot of times couples don't actually ask that question. Even when you go and see a civil, a registrar, a marriage officer, you don't tend to ask the question about music, and they don't normally tell you either, because obviously they love an easy service, which is obviously not very nice, but I am speaking from experience. So just make sure you ask the questions about music when you do go and do your meeting with the verger, the registrar, the priest, all the different types of ones available. So on your wedding day you've got loads of different choices and chances to use music. So obviously I've already mentioned the ceremony. So you've got walking down the aisle, you've got obviously before the ceremony with all your guests arriving, and obviously after the service as well, which is generally really nice. There's a lot of options you can have for that. You've got on the way to the reception venue, you've got loads of choices to have, obviously on the transport wise, and if you're going to have music in the transport. You've also got, when you arrive at the venue, the cocktail reception or drinks reception. You've got whilst you're having your wedding breakfast, the wedding reception, and also you've got the aftermath, the actual disco dance time. So you've got a lot of choices and a lot of put togethers, and you would like to probably use music for a majority of those times, just because it's nice to even have some background music, which is very, very important in my eyes. So 5 reasons on what you can have, available, and what is available, and what its choices are. That makes sense. So you can have, obviously, number 1 reason, you've got bands. You can have bands at, like, majority of the time people use bands at the reception. For like during the disco, or if you haven't got a disco, some people use bands. There's obviously loads of different types of bands that are available to go with your theme. You don't just have to have like a rock band. You can obviously have a jazz band or an acoustic band. Loads of different choices there. You've got the singers. Singers are also very good. You can have them obviously at the service. Obviously walking down the aisle after the ceremony. If you've got a really good friend who's got a really good voice, maybe use advantage of them, or obviously hire one in if you've got a budget for a singer. You also could use them during your dinner, a nice light sound whilst, like a sort of background soul voice whilst you're having your wedding breakfast, or even in the cocktail reception whilst you're drinking. Maybe a singer could be used there as well. Lots of opportunities for a singer. Third, another option, another reason is the DJs. DJs are also really good because they bring atmosphere to the disco part. If you are going with a DJ, just make sure you've got a playlist. You tell the DJ what sort of music you like, what sort of music you don't like. Maybe put a playlist of like about 500 songs but you've created, so he has that list, so he knows exactly what you like, and it's like, you know, all happy. Also, another good idea is maybe in your invitations or when you're doing your information pack, you can ask guests to supply 3 songs or 2 songs depending on how many guests you have, so each guest will be happy because they know that they're going to have a song. So DJs are also really good because you can generally fit them in to how your ceremony, how your wedding design creation is going to be, because obviously you've got loads of different DJs out there that create different environments for you and your guests. Fourth reason, you can go with a string quartet. There's obviously loads of different options with a string quartet. They are best for the ceremony and the cocktail reception or drinks reception, however you want to say it, because they bring relaxation to the surroundings of your wedding. And the fifth reason, let me just check my notes here, is you got acoustic musicians, which is obviously like a band, but it's purely just the acoustic, which is generally also really, really good because they're acoustic, and it's nice to maybe have this, like maybe one acoustic guitar player, which is really nice and a lovely voice. You also got gospel choirs. They are amazing for ceremonies. I don't know if you've seen Love Actually. That's generally what I would like to have for my wedding because I just think it's amazing and I love gospel choirs. Go down the Sister Act route. Definitely a great option there. You've also got, which is, I don't like saying this because it's obviously not good for entertainers or musicians. If you are on a really strict budget and you haven't got a lot of money to spend on musicians or music, you've also got your iPod. Putting together a playlist, I think, is very, very important if you're going down that route, and you can use that iPod maybe throughout the day, from the ceremony right through to the actual wedding reception. So you've got loads of options of music, you've got loads of places where you can actually put music. Just make sure you take advantage of where you're using the music and how you're creating it, because it has to be the right atmosphere, it has to be your personality, it has to be your right style. You don't want to like have a traditional sort of 1920 style white wedding and have Tiny Temper playing on in the background. So just make sure you use the right, I can't say that word, the right atmosphere music at the right times and how it all creates your wedding. Anyway, that's me done. I'm really sorry about the blah 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 bit about this 5 reasons, but it is about music, and music is in my love, and I really hope that you use this to your advantage and listen to what my experience and my ideas are. Anyway, that's me done, and I love you all, and I really hope you have a good evening, and I'll speak to you very soon. Love you. Bye 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 bye.